Okay, here we are. This is game number 2 between Elazer and Hanfy. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner as the red Zerg player from AT Gaming. It is Elazer. And his opponent, currently 1 point down, spawning in the top right hand corner. It is going to be Hanfy from Red Bloods Esports. Now Red Bloods really did acquire quite a few good players. Do I have to give them that? But let's just hope that everything is going to be stable there, that they do have sponsors going down. But let's see. No very early shenanigans. I do believe... No, the Overlord for Elazer already being done. So no temple is going to come down. So everything is looking standard. We're going to see a 15 pool or a 15 hatch come down from these players. Also, game number 1 already happened. I was casting another game. That's... why I did not get a chance to cast that, just in case you were wondering why the score is already 1-0 if you just tuned in. But we will see that the 15 pool has come down for Elazer, playing it a little bit safe, because he is already 1 point up and he does not want to die to anything stupid. So just playing it a little bit safe. Hanfy's still going to go for the hatchery first, because, well, he's already 1 point down, so he's got nothing really to lose. And look at that APM spam from Elazer, going up to 600 APM. That is pretty amazing. Even if I try, I have a lot of trouble getting that high. But, well, Elazer, of course, playing this game quite a bit. His poor keyboard must be feeling horrible by now. But we will see Hanfy go for the spawning pool. Of course, the expansion for Elazer is going to come down now too. And Elazer is already producing 4 Zerglings. That is 2 more than you normally see, so you might want to try and pick off. He might want to try and pick off a drone, or maybe even 2 if he gets lucky. But let's see if he's going to be able to. At least he's going to get a full scout out of the base of Hanfy, and he will know exactly what is going to come his way. But the Overlords have spotted each other's expansion timings, so Elazer knows that this was an expansion first for Hanfy. And there's not going to be a queen for the defense. Depending on the amount of Zerglings, you might still want to go and fight the Zerglings. But Hanfy knows that there are 4 Zerglings on the way. So Hanfy is responding with 4 of his own Zerglings. And he is also working on getting both of his queens out right now. Pretty standard setup so far. No gases have been taken. And on this map, I do know that Elazer really likes to go for... he likes to go for gasless, until he can get the gases at his natural base. But normally you see that as a setup from a hatchery first perspective. The Zerglings of Elazer are going to be annoying inside the main base a little bit. The queens are now popping, so he might lose 1 or 2 of the Zerglings. He loses 1 of them for sure. Second one when this one pops, and even a third one. Yes, wow, very nice micro for Elazer, for Hanfy, focusing down the weakened Zerglings. Well, only 1 is going to be able to return home to tell the tale. Now the other 3 Zerglings are still in hot pursuit. Once he gets to the queen, he's going to be in a safe haven right now. But still no gas have been taken. Pretty passive play, and Elazer really wants to get that economy going. Going up to a 3rd hatch immediately. There is an Overlord hanging over them. So the Zerglings are not going to be the most important scouting tool. It is going to be the Overlord spotting the 3rd base. Also, the queens for Elazer are going to get the damage done on the Zerglings of Hanfy. But Hanfy will spot that no gases have been taken. That is why this Overlord is poking forward quite a bit, getting away from the Overlord, from the queens of course. And he can check if there has been a gas guys taken, but none of that is the case. Finally, they are finishing up for Elazer. But with that 3rd base already done, with that 3rd base already coming down, he's going to be in pretty good shape. Also, the natural base gases are going to be taken by Hanfy. This is shaping up to be a pretty passive game. Now, I have no idea what happened in the first game. It might be a very aggressive game. That could be a reason why these players want to take it a little bit more easy. Or they could just respect each other a little bit too much for this. Now, without speedlings, the queens can step forward quite a bit, get rid of a few extra Overlords, and they will get another one. That's getting pretty painful right now for Elazer, already losing 2 of his Overlords to the queens, while Elazer was only able to pick off 1 of the queens of Hanfy. Now one Zergling is picking away at this hatchery quite a bit, already losing a little bit of the health right there, but he's not going to kill it off whatsoever. It's just too much health creation from those from the hatcheries. Both players going into double evolution chambers now too. Baneling Nest is being produced for Elazer, and he wants to hit a timing with a lot of Zerglings on the production tab right now. He already has a lot of them pulled up. Zergling speed for him is about to be done, and it's going to be done quite a bit faster than Hanfi's Zergling speed. So he is going to go battling the Zerglings of Hanfi quite a bit. Would not be surprised if he would be able to take out this third base. But let's see how that is going to go down. No Roach Warren on the map for both these players, so Banelings and Roaches are going to be the only defensive tool. And was there actually a Baneling Nest placed down for Hanfi? No, he does not have a Baneling Nest. He only has Zerglings. And those are going to be slow Zerglings. This is a pretty greedy play. And the Zerglings are not going to move in. Elazer still has a little bit of extra gas left and a few extra Zerglings left to go for the Banelings behind this. But he is going to lose his third base. There's no way that Hanfi is going to be able to hold this. Not without Banelings, not without Roaches. Now even the Banelings are going to move in. Reinforcements will be picked off immediately. Two Queen's going to get focus fired down. Reinforcing Zerglings will get killed off immediately. Drones are going to be falling. Oh, that could be a Groot detonation for Elazer right there. That was a pretty good one for sure. And another 7 Zerglings being picked off by one Baneling. He wants to go for the hatchery. He wants to get the kill on the hatchery. But so far, well, 2 Queens being killed off is already pretty painful. So much lost mining time, but Roaches will start popping out right now. But look at the amount of Zerglings still on the map for Elazer. And the 10 Banelings on the way. Well, we do see a counterattack for Hanfi right now. There's nothing here to defend. He did not produce any drones for that third base. Queen will get caught out of position, but this is going to be a base for base. And Elazer will take out the third base of Hanfi, but Hanfi will return the favor, killing off the third base of Elazer too. But the Banelings will be rolling forward. There are a few Roaches out right now, but is that really going to be enough? Well, so far it has been. In this choke, Zerglings cannot really fight, and the Zerglings will only be able to defeat those Roaches if there is a full surround. But Hanfi actually taking the supply lead, of course. Those Roaches are pretty supply heavy. In team games when I play Zerg, they're usually they really are the supply block central for me. But now Hanfi with the Roaches out, he's gonna be able to stabilize a little bit. The Zerglings might still get a cancel on this third base. The Roaches are a pretty slow unit, so he might go. Oh, if he went immediately, he could have gone for it, but not anymore. The Roach will be in position to defend. Even going to go for a run by could be pretty tricky. Can pay off for him, but he has to worry about the Zerglings of Hanfi trying to poke and prod at the front, trying to get some extra damage done. Oh, but nice zoning from the Banelings of Elazer. Not getting the perfect detonations here, but still pretty decent. And Elazer now going into his own Roaches. He has his lair, so he can start Roach speed now too. So that should not be a big disadvantage. Looking at the upgrades, both players do have the +1 armor. The +1 attack is finishing up, but Elazer having a pretty good upgrade lead right now with the +1 missile attack already being done and halfway done with the +2 missiles. But he's going to have a lot of Zerglings that are not going to do a whole lot. He might try to turn them all into Banelings and get some burst damage done if he wants to go for a follow-up attack. But he needs a good position for that, and still a pretty risky move in my opinion. But we do see that Hanfi is going to go for the double upgrades. He already went for the double upgrades, of course. But now he will get the 2-2. He might get a little bit of a supply advantage with that. There is a second evolution chamber also for Elazer, so he might try and go for that +1 armor too. But I really like the move that he's just gonna go for the missile attack right now, because it looks like he wants to hammer down on his opponent quite a bit. Hanfi currently has the economic lead. He's 10 drones up over his opponent, but the army of Elazer is just so much more powerful. Now Elazer is only starting his Roach speed right now. That is going to make it a lot more difficult for him to attack into his opponent. The Zergling's Roach speed is going to allow you to disengage in case you want to, or force the engagement when you want to. Oh, Baneling's rolling into that natural base. I do believe, no, a few drones did go down there, I believe. Elazer in total killed off 10 workers. That is pretty nice for him. Not the end of the world for Hanfy though. He still has an 11 drone lead right now. And still, Elazer's producing quite a few units. I'd really like to see him just get a few extra drones out instead of just going for the Zergling run-bys. Oh, this was spotted. This is pretty painful for Hanfy because he's just donating Zerglings at this point. So, he has to be careful with the run-bys if he wants to go for them. Roaches have cleaned up both these attack pathways, because it's going to allow you to get in position quite a bit easier. And this time Elazer is going to throw away a lot of those Zerglings when the roaches, when they just run into a bunch of those roaches. That is always a very painful move. They have to get out of there. They cannot stay too much longer. And this time Hanfy's Zerglings are feeling brave with the roach support from Hanfy. But Elazer is now maxed out. He has an army of 139 supply against 122 of Hanfy. Hanfy, however, does have defender's advantage. And of course the concave on the top of the ramp. But the Zerglings of Elazer are going to get this army out of position. Elazer using this time to get into position. And he is going to set up a pretty good concave. A lot of the roaches for Hanfy not fighting in the back. Really taking a lot of time for him to get a good concave. Supplies are still pretty equal. And the reinforcements for Elazer are getting closer and closer. But the upgrades, they are equal. No, they are in favor of Hanfy at the moment, actually. But the Carapace upgrade just does not matter so much in Roach versus Roach battles. So it looks like Hanfy might be able to hold on with the reinforcements coming out. 17 more Roaches on the way. But it is going to be at a pretty high cost for sure. Mining is still going strong at the third base. Elazer is getting his fourth base going behind this. And finally the last remaining roaches will be knocked out. But he has produced so many more roaches while he went for this attack. He's on the retreat right now. A few roaches are going to give chase. Hanfy is stacking up to burrow and of course to tunneling claw, so he can move those roaches around while being underground to get some harassment going. But the fourth base for Elazer already up. He can transfer some drones there for the extra income, and he has equalized that income. Well, he will equalize that income quite a bit with going for the mining at the third base, at the fourth base, because his main base is going to get pretty low. The same is going to be this here for Hanfy, so he will be looking for a fourth base too, also getting that at the high yield base. But the Roach versus Roach battles will continue. Elazer does not have that burrow upgrade, I do believe. No, so his roaches will not be able to regenerate that health, and Hanfy's roaches will be in the green all day, every day. But Elazer once again moving out. He is maxed out, but this time Hanfy will also be fully maxed out. And Elazer wants to get into a good position, and he manages to do so once again. His concave is just a little bit better, and he is hugging the roaches of Hanfy. Elazer staying maxed out. He's producing those roaches back at home, but the flank from the natural base is going to come in from Hanfy. That might save him once again, but it's going to be at a cost. Again, a lot of roach for Hanfy not fighting here. And it looks like Elazer will take the upper hand. No, Hanfy will be able to push this back. Elazer not willing to commit any longer. And behind us, of course, there is harassment at the fourth base. There is roaches at the third base. There's roaches at the natural base. Killing off drones left and right. That's also a reason for Elazer to return back home and at least defend against this, because he has returned the favor quite a bit. 14 workers also being killed off by Hanfy. But the economic advantage that Hanfy had at the beginning of the game is pretty much gone. He's down almost 30 supply right now too. But at least he will be able to burrow those roaches, get the health back on. Because there are still a lot of roaches in the orange and in the red for Elazer. And those are going to be pretty much dead supply. Fighting with a full health roach is of course quite a bit better than with a roach that is currently in the red. But let's see, Elazer is really sticking it to him. Hanfy has a lot of trouble keeping up with this roach versus roach battle that Elazer is feeling very comfortable with. Looking at the current upgrades, still the one upgrade advantage is going to be for Hanfy. But once again, the Carapace upgrade does not mean a whole lot. Oh, Elazer setting up concave at the bottom of that ramp. Elazer cannot move up that ramp, and Hanfy cannot move down that ramp. So Elazer is just going to wait until he's maxed out. It's going to give time for Hanfy to max out himself too. He has those roaches on the way. And Elazer is waiting for his reinforcements. But the worker count being completely equal, both players working off of 4 bases. And Elazer really trying to get into position. He wants to trade away with this army. He's starting to build a bank quite fast. He's going for his own burrow, for his own +2 carapace, and for his own tunneling claws. But is it even going to matter? He is going to go for it. The roaches of Hanfy are going to come in. A lot of roaches for Elazer are stuck battling with roaches at the natural base. That is not going to do a whole lot. And it looks like Hanfy will take a very good fight here. And he will crush the army of Elazer, but reinforcements will be... Oh, is it not going to be enough? No, the concave for Elazer is getting bigger and bigger. Hanfy is looking to fall right now. Not enough reinforcements going to come through. 30 roaches on the way for Elazer. Only 11 were on the way for Hanfy. Some of them are trickling in. And he might be able to hold on once again with this defender's advantage. Yeah, he's going to push this back once again, but look at the supplies. Elazer was able to pull ahead quite a bit more. And one roach being as annoying as possible at that high yield base, picking off drones left and right. While the economy for Elazer is not being stifled all that much anymore. There's going to be another remax round, and who is going to get the most amount of roaches, it looks like. But there's no transition for any of these players. There's no Hydralisk Den, there's no infestation pit. There's just roaches versus roaches, and now Elazer is going to equalize the upgrades quite a bit too. He still has a 20 supply advantage at this point. That roach that is trying to go for the harassment, oh wow, he does manage to pull through. Roaches still harassing at the natural bases, roaches harassing at the main base. And there's going to be the GG with the economy being killed off of Hanfy. Elazer does take the win. So great game by Elazer. He's going to take the 2-0 victory over Hanfy right here, and we'll move forward to the semifinals.